let's take a look at the DXP Cloud basics. In this section, we'll be looking at the console, the stack, environments, and status. When you sign into DXP Cloud, you'll be brought to the console. The console is your home on DXP Cloud, and the projects page is the first page you'll see after signing in. This is where you can view and manage all of your projects, environments, and services. But what do these terms mean? They are the hierarchy of components in DXP Cloud. Let's take a closer look at the console and how those components work together. The project is the outermost layer of the DXP Cloud hierarchy. It is intended to house all stages of one Liferay project, including development, UAT, and production. For example, let's say that Acme is your external customer-facing website. This would be one project. You may also decide in the future that you want to create a separate intranet for employees that is unrelated to Acme. You may then want to request a new project where you can build this out. An environment houses a single, self-contained instance of the DXP Cloud stack. We'll talk about the stack in a moment. Essentially, it holds all of the necessary components, or services, needed to run DXP in the cloud. A service is an individual component of your DXP Cloud stack. Each service is in charge of a specific functionality of the stack, such as search or database. So what is the DXP Cloud stack? The DXP Cloud stack consists of 5 default services. These are the web server, Liferay, search, database, and backup. The web server sits in front of your Liferay DXP instance and handles all of the traffic directed to your environment from the internet. The Liferay service is where Liferay DXP resides. You can deploy plugins, install licenses, and set configurations much like you would with DXP on-premise. The search service is in charge of, you guessed it, search. Elasticsearch is the search engine for Liferay DXP. The database service manages the MySQL database used for storing data from your Liferay service. The backup service is responsible for backing up and restoring the database and document library for the environment. Let's talk about environments in more detail. As mentioned earlier, environments hold a single instance of the DXP Cloud stack. There are 3 main DXP Cloud environments by default: prod, dev, and UAT. Prod is your production environment. Only prod can generate backups, enable auto-scaling, and utilize advanced monitoring. UAT is intended for user-assisted tests. This environment is recommended for deployment after development is complete in dev. Dev is intended for development purposes. Developers can test new features, changes, and plugins here. It is important to note that the Liferay instances on both the dev and UAT environments are protected against unsuspecting users by a basic auth. This is maintained by the web server service. The credentials are the same as your Jenkins credentials. There is one additional underlying layer that you should be aware of as well. This is the infra layer. Infra contains the Jenkins continuous integration service we talked about earlier. Let's talk about status. We know that with a cloud product, it is important to be aware of the status of your deployments and the underlying infrastructure. At Liferay, we're committed to a 99.95 monthly availability of the DXP Cloud platform. However, in the unlikely event that you experience any issues with the availability or functionality, you can check the current status of all DXP Cloud systems by visiting status.liferay.cloud. You'll also be able to see past incidents and subscribe to receive notifications about these events. Also note that, in the event that the platform needs to be brought down for maintenance, you'll be informed in advance so that you can make preparations. The amount of time for the maintenance and the amount of advance notice you'll receive can be found in your contract.